Hello guys, it's Valentine's Day and there's no one else besides my boyfriend and besides Leo that I'd rather hang out with than you guys. And I actually just got back from dinner, but I was like, I want to talk to you guys. I want to, celebrate Valentine's Day with you all, because not only do I love being a graphic designer and being my own business owner, but I also love you guys, and I love having this community of people to hang out with, talk with, and it's so much fun. So I was like, I need to sit down with them before the holiday ends and just talk and share with you guys 5 different things that I love about being a graphic designer. So I went back and forth on what to talk about in this video, but I really wanted to share with you guys what it is that I love about my job. I feel like when I was trying to make that decision on whether or not I want to pursue this full time, I wasn't quite sure if it was going to ruin that passion that I have for design and the passion that I have for this and make it like a job, which I've had that happen with photography in the past, because I got a minor in photography in school, and I just feel like that kind of turned it into assignments rather than fun and expressing creativity. So I was a little bit worried about it, and I was also worried about financially if it would support me, and there was a lot of worries that I had in my head about, is this going to work out for me? That's why I wanted to make this video, to share with you guys 5 different things that I love about being a graphic designer and that I love about being a business owner in general. Not only because it's the month of love and it's Valentine's Day, so love is in the air, but also just because I want to help guide you, or if you're thinking about doing graphic design, I hope that this can help you kind of make that decision and also have something to look forward to if you do decide to take this, industry really seriously and start to pursue it more full-time or freelancing. When I look back also on my past and the careers and the jobs I've had leading up to this point, I completely understand if you're in a situation where maybe you aren't loving your job, or you are just miserable where you're at, or if maybe you thought you were going to love the career you are in, but maybe it's just not turning out how you hoped. If you're in that situation, I totally understand. I have had many jobs before this one, and I didn't really like any of them, if I'm being completely honest. I don't regret doing those because they led me to where I am now, but it wasn't always amazing. There was mornings I'd wake up and I did not want to work. I did not really love what I was doing. And it wasn't until I had that vision in my head of how I can build my business and how I can be my own boss that everything just became it's just my passion became my career, but it also became my love. I absolutely love what I do. And I think that's because of all the reasons I'm going to share with you guys today. So number 1, the first reason I love what I do is because I always get to experience change. If you guys haven't noticed, if you follow my YouTube channel or on Instagram or anything, I tend to change things up a lot, whether it's dyeing my hair, rearranging my office, painting my nails or painting walls, or I don't know, going traveling somewhere. I love change. There's just something about it to me that excites me, and I get bored really easily. I've always been like that. I love to jump from one thing to the next, and I think that's part of the reason I've seen some success, is because I don't let myself stagnate. But I have noticed that now, having my graphic design business, it's the perfect path for me, because I get to work with all different types of clients. Not every client's the same, which means not every creativity expression is not the same. So the change that I get to experience with each client, with each project, is so fulfilling for me. And I don't know, that's just how my brain works. I feel like I jump from one thing to the next. It just works for my brain, and it actually makes me way more happy than if I were to be working on the same design for a whole career. If I was working at the same place with confined to a certain amount of fonts, a certain amount of colors for years and years, I probably would go insane. So I love the fact that I get to change things up, whether that's with clients or whether that's with my offerings or in Instagram or content. I get to change things up all the time, and I just find that so fulfilling. The next thing I love about being a designer is that I get to connect with clients and students all over the world. I think that being an online service provider and working from home has opened the door for me to meet so many amazing business owners and entrepreneurs. And I love that. I love the fact that I get to work with a client in Canada or a client in Brazil or a client, wherever they might be, Hawaii. I get to work with people that are anywhere in the world. And I think that's one of the most amazing parts about what I'm doing now. I feel like I have little pieces of connections everywhere, and that just makes me so happy. Like I recently just spoke to a client in the Netherlands, and I was like, how amazing is it that we get to hop on a call and speak to each other from so far away and in different time zones. And I just think that's such a beautiful part of what we do. Not only with clients, like I said, with my students as well. I do have a lot of graphic design courses, and I've noticed a lot of my students are all over the world, and I think that's amazing and beautiful. And just when I really think about it and reflect on the fact that I'm able to connect with someone just somewhere so far away, it's like mind-boggling how amazing that is. So I would have to say that's one of the very top reasons I love what I do. The next one is probably an unpopular opinion, but I love the fact that I can be at home and work from home. I know that this is not everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. I love the freedom of being able to pick up my laptop, go to the coffee shop, or maybe get up from my desk and play with my cat, or just having that freedom to like make my schedule and make it so I can work wherever I want is amazing. Like I don't think I'd want it any other way. I think if I ever had to go back to an office, it'd be a really, really difficult transition for me. And it's kind of like a game changer for me. I feel like it would be like my decision maker. If I can't work from home, I can't do it because I just love it so much. And I know it's not for everybody. I know that some people like to be around other people, but that's why I go work at coffee shops sometimes. I get to hear that noise around me and I get to like meet people still. But I just love working from home, and I love being able to work from anywhere. Like I could technically be a digital nomad if I wanted, and just having that option in front of me is amazing. Like I feel like so lucky to have that. And I think in the future when I have kids or when I have maybe a puppy, I'm going to appreciate it even more because I'll be able to be at home. I'll have that freedom to kind of adjust my schedule if needed to help out around the house or help out with family. So I do love having that option, and it's amazing. Trust me, I get lonely sometimes, but then I remind myself that I have friends that I can call, or I can go to a soccer game later that night because I do play on an adult league in soccer, and that's how I've met a lot of friends around here. And I also still have some friends from college here. So I would rather have my, hangout time, kind of like the socializing time with friends after work. And I kind of view it that way. So I love it, and I truly wouldn't want it any other way. Speaking of that, I have been thinking about doing a video, like an experiment, on working at a co-working spot for like 30 days straight, because there's a lot of co-working spaces here, and I've never really taken advantage of them. But I feel like it might be an interesting experiment to see if I do like to work in like a structured kind of like office environment, or if I create and work better at home or at a coffee shop. To be honest, I think I already know the answer. I feel like I like to work where my heart desires, because if I kind of constrain myself too much, I do notice that it can affect my creativity. So I do feel I know the answer, but that might be an interesting video. So let me know if you guys want to see that on my YouTube. But I am interested in possibly experimenting with that. But that's another thing that I love about what I'm doing, is there's an option to go to a co-working space, or to, have those like co-working situations. If you want to call up a friend and both meet at the coffee shop, there's so many ways around that loneliness feeling. So if you are feeling that way, there's many ways to fix it. Next reason I love being a graphic designer is because I get to express myself through art. I remember when I was working at a corporate company, I was a graphic designer there. I had no creative freedom. I had to use specific fonts, specific colors, specific everything. And I wasn't able to express myself through that. I wasn't able to like really tap into that creative side of my brain to think of like a really cool way to show something. But with clients that come to me for branding or even website design, I'm able to like, I really have to take a day to like tap into that part of my brain and just like think about the best possible way for the client to show up differently than her competitors or his competitors. So I think that having the opportunity to do that and to really like creatively, my God, I can't talk. Having the opportunity to think creatively like that is so amazing. And I feel like it's really fulfilling, honestly, because I feel at the end of the day, like so accomplished and so happy and so excited when I nail like a client's logo, or if I nail some of the illustrations or icons. Like, it's so much more fulfilling than if I were to just put some font on a poster and call it a day. Like, I want to be able to why can't I think of that word today? Creatively think of a way to express my clients' like mission and values through like a brand mark, and combining the change of different clients and combining the creative freedom with it is like a match made in heaven for me, and I love it so much. This next one's a little deep, but one of the reasons I love what I'm doing now is because it's all up to me. I'm in charge of my destiny. I'm in charge of where my business is a year from now. I'm in charge of where my business is 2 months from now or a week from now. It's completely up to me. And I think that I was really nervous about that because I've always been in an environment with like a higher, like a hierarchy where there's someone above me that I can kind of like impress or show something to, or kind of have someone looking over what I'm doing. And I was nervous at first to be alone and to not really have anyone like checking over what I'm doing. It was completely up to me. But I'm telling you now, being in my second year of running this business, that I love it so much, and I do not miss having someone like constantly looking over my shoulder and making sure I'm doing something right. I actually don't think I'd ever want that again. Of course, I love like having some constructive criticism, or maybe having someone come in and show me a different, better way of doing things. But I was in environments where I felt like I was always looked down on, and I felt like I never received like respect from those people. I'm sure in some of those situations I did, but I was always like the youngest one, and I was always like trying to prove myself. But being where I'm at now and being able to educate other designers, but also learn from other designers and to really be in charge of where I decide to go is so freeing. And it's one of my favorite parts about it, because as much as I sometimes miss having someone like motivate me some days to like get up and do my work, or, send something off, or kind of having that like voice in my head and the reminder emails and all that, sometimes I miss having like a physical person to tell me that. But I truly like feel so fulfilled kind of being my own boss and being my own motivator, and like having that vision and just like head down focusing every single week on making that vision come to life. And I feel like I talk a lot about vision this and vision that, but I feel like just getting started and seeing those doors open to like connecting with other designers, and a door opening for me to create a course about branding or website, and another door opening for me to collab with other brands that I love. There's been so many doors that open along the way. And so when I say vision, I envision all those doors in the future that I would love to see open for me. And if I worked somewhere else where I had a boss, I wouldn't have that like freedom in my brain to think about kind of like the unknown or what is possible, because I would just see the road in front of me based on that specific company and what it is that they allow for growth and stuff. So I think that's one of my favorite parts about it. I know that that's kind of like a deep question, because we all have our own visions and we all have our own perspectives on what it is we're doing. But when I truly look at what I'm doing, like, it excites me so much. And I know that no one else will probably understand that until I really like build it out and show the world. But I think that it's super exciting when you can sit with yourself and be so excited about what it is that you are creating, and having like knowing that that's all you need to make it happen is not only like super empowering as like a woman business owner, but also like so exciting and fulfilling. I feel like I've been saying that word a lot, but it's really fulfilling to know that like I can make that happen for myself, and there's no one in front of me that's going to get in the way or stop that from happening for me. So that is definitely one of the things I love. So those are 5 things I love about being a graphic designer. I really wanted to share that with you, like I said, because I know the situations where you feel like maybe you want to do something else with your life or career, and you're not sure if you're going to love it or hate it, or maybe you're just unsure completely. Well, I really hope that those 5 tips kind of help you understand what there is to look forward to in a graphic design career. And if any of those things aligned with you and it excites you, then I would say it's so worth it. Go for it, make it happen, and you will be so happy and so proud of yourself. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have had a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether you just spent some time with yourself, giving yourself some self-love, or maybe your pets or your relationship or family, whatever it is. I hope that you felt the love this week, and just remind yourself to give that to you, no matter if it's Valentine's Day or whatever day it is. You deserve the best and the most, and I love you guys so much. I love you for always being here for me and supporting me and being interested in like the things I say. I truly am so appreciative of that. But I hope that you guys had a wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube or follow on Spotify, where you can listen to my audio and video on Spotify. So definitely go check me out there. But I hope you guys stick around for more, and I will talk to you in my next episode.